What's up YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of Homebrew Subaru. Today I'm going to show you how to replace a CV shaft on a late model Toyota Corolla. So what's up everyone? This is my neighbor's car. He is a taxi cab driver, and this is his personal vehicle. He bought the car brand new, and he's kind of stacked up the mileage on it already. I've done a couple small maintenance things to the car, but generally just oil changes and brakes. He's actually come to the point where he's getting some clicking up in the front of the car, especially on hard turns or backing up while turning. And from the road test that we took together a couple times, I believe it is the left side CV shaft, or the drive shaft or half shaft on the left hand side. The joint seems to have a little bit of play when I get the car raised and I start turning the wheel. It's really hard to determine exactly where the noise is coming from because you can't see any play or really feel any play in the joint. So I just explained to him that we're going to have to try and replace this shaft and see what happens. So from what I've discovered, there is quite a few other taxis, and I actually had one guy stop here one day to borrow the axle nut socket because it's quite specific for Toyota. So I know other guys are replacing them, and they're probably something that's failing often. Looking in the aftermarket, these shafts for these Corollas are very hard to get a hold of. So we ended up getting an OEM part from Toyota. I'm going to be doing some front brakes on the car at the same time, but I'm not going to bother showing you guys that. We're just going to basically get this wheel off and show you the process on getting the CV shaft out and back in. So first things first, wheel needs to come off. So we'll jack the car up and sit it on a jack stand. I use this 12.30mm socket that I bought from Snap-on many years ago. When these Toyotas first came out, I believe it was actually Tacomas and 4Runners that I bought this socket for, but I can't be sure. Maybe it was just Toyota front wheel drive cars, but they changed up to this 12-point axle nut quite some time ago, so you will need a 12-point socket to get it off. And this is the socket that I've had another taxi come by to kind of borrow from me. So I'll start with taking off the axle nut, and then after that, Toyota makes it very easy, and there's just 3 17mm bolts to disconnect the ball joint from the lower control arm, and we can pry down the control arm out of the way and start wiggling the steering knuckle away from the CV shaft after it's all undone. So I'll just sit down the camera and kind of talk my way through it as I'm taking it apart. Generally, in most cases, these axle nuts have a little denting in here just to kind of lock it in place and retain the nut in case it starts to come loose. Which generally doesn't ever happen because these are torqued in place at quite a high rating. So, but I do like to take just a little sharpened end screwdriver, sit it in there, and just get that to open up just a little bit. And as soon as it goes to turn off with the impact gun, it'll literally take its normal shape and thread. To assist it coming off, I always like to just put a little squirt of penetrating fluid. Turn the wheel out a little bit straighter and put a little shot of penetrant right in there. And I just take a punching bit like this, you can put it right in the center there, and just start driving the shaft out quite easily. So at least now it's loose, and I can let the ball joint go next. These are 17 mil. guess one of them is a bolt. The two outer ones are nuts. To disconnect the ball joint from the control arm, we're going to have to pry down the control arm. But coming into the top, they give you a little spot to kind of pry down on the control arm. And a couple good little jerks, it'll just come loose. Now with that disconnected, I should be able to drive on the center of the CV shaft, or even just maybe push on it with my finger. I'll have to give it a couple taps. I think I'm actually going to put the steering all the way to the right to extend the tie rod out to give me some extra pull to get away from the CV shaft. Now that I got it straightened up, I should have a little extra room just to kind of push this guy through. And then just kind of pull out with one hand and sit the axle out to the side. So now that we have the outer end of the axle all disconnected, we need to get in behind the inner part of the axle and just kind of pop it out. So to get a pry bar in behind it, just on one of the edges. Two of the edges is preferable, but if you can only get one edge, and then just with a large pry driver, just slowly kind of wiggle, 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 and it should just pop. Now it is a little bit difficult for me to show you this because of the angle. I don't have the car like really high, but just getting a pry driver in behind the axle, and then usually a good couple bops will pop the axle. And I do have a pan here just in case there's some oil, which there is some oil dripping. But not much oil, you don't have to worry about it too much. Try not to hit the camera. And our axle is out. Okay, so the last recording of actually getting the shaft out didn't go as planned. The camera was actually set up for like time-lapse pictures, I guess, or something like that. But any which way, I have the shaft out and the new shaft is still in the bag. I want to set them side by side, make sure that everything looks the same, which it does. Of course, this was ordered with the VIN number from the dealer, so it's hard to get the wrong one. So I'm ready to unbag this and start putting it back into place. Before I start, what I generally like to do with CV axles, you can see the old one's got a little bit of rust buildup on the spline, and that's why you end up having to drive it out with a hammer. So I'll just take a little tiny bit of anti-seize and apply it to those splines, and basically a good couple shoves. There's a little C-clip on the end of this side, and a good couple shoves, as long as it's lined up well, just will seat it into place, and you'll actually feel it click into place. And you want to look to make sure that the axle is fully seated in, because you can actually get it partway in and make it feel like it's all the way in, and go for a drive, and the shaft will actually start to come loose and cause damage. I'm just going to rip this thing out of the bag and line it up, pop it into place, and then we'll go about reinstalling everything. Not too bad of a job at all. So I already do have this guy snapped into place, but what I'll do is kind of hold out the strut assembly and steering knuckle out with my knee. I make sure that the shaft is reasonably lined up, and then I'll give it little shunts like this until you can actually feel it pop into place. And when you do, you want to have a good look on the inside, a good feel, and make sure the shaft is all the way in. And then once it's like this, you can literally take the knuckle and pull it out with your hand and line the shaft up to go through the hub. Once it starts through the hub, and now you can actually start the nut on the end of the axle. And that'll at least keep it from popping back out while you continue to put it back together. We're going to pry down the control arm again and just line up the studs for the ball joint. Careful not to get your hands trapped in there. Once you feel the studs coming through the control arm, you can start on the nuts, and that'll pull everything straight. I've got it close enough that the bolt will line up as well. So all that's really left is just to tighten up the axle nut. This axle nut gets torqued to 159 foot-pounds, so I'll just probably torque it up to 160. That can actually be done down on the ground if you have steel rims. I don't know if the aluminum rim will allow this size socket to pass through, although it probably will. But you can put the wheel on, put all your wheel nuts on, tighten the wheel, lower the car back down onto the ground, and then this socket will actually pass through the rim, and you'll still be able to torque the nut while the actual wheel is down on the ground, so that you don't have to hold anything. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and do that quite yet because I still have to do the front brakes on this car, and that's where I'm headed next, and I'm not going to bother showing you guys another brake job. So yeah. So that's basically how easy it is to replace a CV shaft on a Toyota Corolla. Most Toyota front-wheel drives would be the same procedure, and overall CV shafts are generally all the same and they come out the same way. The one I previously did not long ago on the Skyline, the inner joint on that one actually unbolts, and that isn't very common. You won't see that on front-wheel drive setups anyway. You'll have stub shafts that go directly into the transmission like this one. So I realized that this video wasn't very entertaining, but my how-to videos seem to get a lot of views, and that's what really keeps the channel growing, I think, most of the time. So yeah, and at the same time, I do need to do these jobs on the side so that I have the extra cash to spend on my toys, if you know what I mean. So if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here and you haven't already, please consider hitting that subscribe button for me. Leave your questions and comments further down below, and I'll see you in the next one.